this seems to be a place of worship for the locals, although it looks like they might have more popular tourist attractions. I'm not quite in the mood for dying right now, and I'm not the least bit inclined to get to know those horns. That must be an argali, a type of mountain sheep. That's the second biggest sheep I've ever seen. Okay, I'll put the lambskin on the sled so I'll have a nice soft seat next time. Hey, this is starting to look like an animal. And now for some legs. Wow, this thing is uncannily lifelike. I mean, if I squint my eyes a bit, it starts to scare me. I wonder what'll happen next. Ah, it destroyed my beautiful handiwork. Oh well. I don't want to steal these and end up getting smited. Oh, ancient Tibetan god, if you want to hold on to these, please give me some sign. Nope, I guess we're good. What are those strange lumps? Looks like coal. Or... oh no, of course not. It's poo. Pleasant aroma or not, this stuff is better off in there than outside, and I feel more comfortable about it. I'll light one of them. What a stink. Perfume's not really a man's thing. Let's see. That stuff actually burns. And it doesn't even smell that bad. Finally, a stroke of luck. I've already lit one. That's quite enough for me. I think... yes, it would definitely be in my interest not to burn the documents. It could work.
It's burnt down. I need a fresh one.
I've lit an incense stick. The smell from this thing could wake the dead.
This smoke is vile. Let's hope it wakes her up.
Kim! You alive?
What? Yeah, I think so. Oof, what's that awful smell?
Sorry, I had to wake you up somehow, and I didn't really think you'd like the alternative. Are you sure you're okay?
Pretty sure. My head is aching and I'm cold as ice, but other than that, everything's fine.
We have to get you out of there. Help me lift the roof of the cockpit.
Damn it! It's barely budging.
Now what? You better have a plan B.
I'm working on it.
Whatever you're doing, do it faster.
I need more strength to get the cockpit off. Sharp propeller blades plus cockpit equals open sesame. Blades plus soft flesh equals a very angry Kim. Better leave it alone. I can't reach it. The parachute from my plane.
Hang in there, Kimmy. I'll find a way to get the cockpit open.
Hurry up, Paddock. It's freezing cold. I'm starting to get really mad at you.
Oh dear. The cockpit's completely crushed. Kim's lucky she doesn't have any real injuries. Nothing left inside. It's a puddle of melted water. Considering the temperatures, I really don't need to get any important part of my body wet right now. It's burnt down to nothing. Most of the cockpit is missing. Looks like the pilot got out in time. No thanks. My fingers are already frozen stiff. I've lit an incense stick. The smell from this thing could wake the dead. This horn broke off when the Argali went after my sled. Oh, now the leather strap is coming off. Great. Okay, the leather strap is long enough. Let's see if it's any good as a whip. Something about this just feels right. Too bad. I guess that only works in adventure films. Okay, I'll wet the leather strap.
It's cold.
Oh, nice. The strap's frozen through already. That might work. The parachute from my plane. It looks in one piece. Let's get this chute hooked up to the cockpit. Okay, ripcord time.
Ha! Did you see that? Done.
Wonderful. I'm gonna kill you anyway.
Do it later. Right now, we have to get you out of this wreck. Well, thawed out again. You slept almost 4 hours.
I'm still pretty cold.
Move about a bit. You'll warm up. We've got the fire burning. We're not going to keel over anytime soon.
Wow, you really know how to reassure a girl. So what do we do now? Let me guess. You'll think of something.
We'll have to stay here for the night. It'll be dark soon.
A whole night? In the cold? Oh, wonderful. That's something to tick off my to-do before I die list. Probably the last thing. Remind me. You made me leave Hong Kong because... What was it you said? To be safe? Yeah, that was it. Come with me, you said. Otherwise the Triads will kill you, you said.
Kim.
You're safe with me, you said. The great hero, Fenton Paddock.
Kim!
Let Fenton Paddock keep you safe. Absolutely no chance of being chased by Triads, shot down by Nazis, and stranded in the middle of the Himalayas to freeze to death. No, sir.
Kim, shut up for a second and listen to me. While you were sleeping, I checked out your uncle's documents.
So?
He was traveling this region in 1922 with a researcher named Arthur Hayes. Ring any bells?
Yes, Uncle Wang told me about that expedition. Many times. Professor Hayes had taken him along on his Himalaya trip as a cartographer.
Well, I noticed something really strange. Most of his notes are written in traditional Chinese, but your uncle wrote some of the sections in a language I've never seen before. According to what I could read, he and Hayes were looking for a monastery, which they figured was in this region. Do you know what that means?
That you can't read every kind of language?
Be serious. If there really is a monastery somewhere around here, it might be a safe place to head towards.
Okay. My uncle sometimes wrote certain things in a kind of secret script that only he and I could decipher. Show me the documents.
Here, can you read any of it?
Well, it says here that a storm hit and my uncle and Professor Hayes took shelter in a cave.
We were more than happy to have found shelter in time. When we moved further into the cave, we noticed we were not the only ones seeking shelter there. In the glow of our torches, we recognized a man leaning against the cave wall. Hayes spoke to him, but the stranger did not react. On closer inspection, we realized why. The man was dead. He was frozen stiff, and it was likely he had already been there for quite some time. The man was wearing a monk's robe and presumably had an attack of weakness during a pilgrimage. Hayes brought my attention to something. The torn up and burned remains of a parchment lay beside the corpse. It is possible that the monk had used the last of his strength to build a fire. On examining the burnt remains more closely, it turned out to be a map. Hayes was able to determine a few checkpoints and thus conclude that it showed the region we were in. The texts we were able to identify on the map were written in an ancient script, of which Hayes was able to translate little. While the professor's eyes wandered across the map, he suddenly gasped. His trembling fingers moved over one word, Kembalong. Hayes, who had studied every possible source of information prior to beginning his expedition, explained that many myths and legends shrouded a valley by that name. They say there is an ancient monastery in the valley where no outsider has ever been. According to the legends, the monks from Kembalong Valley guard an ancient and very powerful secret. It was possible that we had come across a key to this hidden valley, and Hayes suddenly became excited when he realized what that could mean for him, the leader of the Tibet expedition. In that moment, I took a closer look at the dead monk. Could he be one of those monks living a secluded life in the valley? Where did he want to go? Or was he returning from somewhere and didn't have the strength to continue? My eyes dropped to his hands, and I noticed that the fingers of his left hand were wrapped tightly around something. Hayes noticed it too and opened the clutched fingers in a somewhat harsh manner. Hayes grasped the object and held it to the light of my torch. It was a stone, resembling the eye of a dragon. There was a green gemstone in its center, through which the light was refracted, falling onto the walls in a most fascinating pattern. Hayes put the stone away. He must have noticed the look on my face, because he justified himself. He remarked that the stone was better off in the hands of a researcher than those of some farmers or shepherds who might discover the cave someday.
Okay, now skip a few passages. Did they find the monastery?
Hold your horses. It's been a while since I last read this stuff. I'm a little rusty. They headed off to find the Kembalong Valley, but the approaching winter made it impossible. They couldn't make it through the mountains, so they broke off the hunt. They got home, and Hayes tried to raise money for another expedition with better equipment, but nobody was interested. People figured he was hunting myths. Uncle drew a map showing the valley's estimated location. It shows us where they gave up as well.
Perfect. We can use it.
I don't know. It's all pretty vague. How do you know the monastery exists at all?
Hayes and your uncle believed it was here. Right now, that's good enough for me. And, to be perfectly honest, it is our only chance.
Then I suppose we don't have a choice.
Wait. Can you hear that?
Sounds like an engine. Oh no. Not another plane?
No, that's not a plane. It sounds more like... a truck. Grab your stuff. Change of plan.
What?
We're following the truck. It must be going somewhere.
Could we stop for a moment, please?
No, we need to keep moving. The snow's already starting to cover the tracks. Can you make it a bit further?
Do I have a choice?
I'm sure we'll find something soon.
And what makes you so sure?
I'm a boundless optimist.
Hey, what is that?
Looks like a military camp.
I didn't know Tibet had an army.
They don't. Remember that fighter plane?
Germans? What are they doing here? Have they attacked Tibet?
I doubt it. Let's break out the glasses. Damn it.
What's going on?
They're holding British soldiers captive. There's at least one officer with them.
Richard?
No, not Richard. But maybe someone from his unit. They must have met the Germans somewhere along the line.
What are we going to do?
What do you think? Rescue the officer, debrief him, find the rest of his group, and get everyone home in time for tea and medals.
And we do that how?
We? Forget it, Kim. You've made it this far, but you're sitting this one out.
What? You expect me to just sit here and watch while you break into a heavily guarded military camp, get caught and tortured, and then leave me to freeze to death?
For now, we just need to get the lay of the land. Then we'll wait till dark and make a foolproof plan. How's that?
Why do I always let you talk me round?
Maybe because you actually think I'm a pretty great guy.
Dream on, Paddock.
Okay, so far, so easy. Something tells me that's about to change. This place is bigger than it looked. What the hell are the Germans up to out here?
Where are you going, Werner?
To take a leak.
Just make sure you don't fall down a crevasse. It's like Swiss cheese around here, you know.
I'm not stupid, you know.
Good thing he picked the other side of the barracks to do his business. The guards seem to be having a nice little tea party. If they want to slack off, that's just fine by me. Actually, another time, another place, I might join them. The truck Kim and I followed. It's locked. Let's see what that sign says. Wow, 2 crash landings in one day. Bad karma. Ah well, 2 crashes and no casualties. That's something. Although I dropped some of my gear. Never mind. Let's get out of here.
Paddock? Fenton, can you hear me?
Kim? Damn it, didn't I tell you to wait?
Oh, stop playing the hero. It doesn't suit you. Of course, I could always just leave you here and go back.
No. Just make sure nobody sees you.
Don't fret. What's it look like down there? Can you climb back up?
Not through the tunnel. I've slid down about 10 meters. But there are some passages here.
Shh, be quiet.
Kim? Kimmy? Is everything okay?
Yep, coast clear. I'll take a look around up here. There must be something we can get you back up with.
Okay, but be careful.
Always. I'll take a paper with me. If I need more, I'll know where to find them. Let's see if I can find something useful in all this. The truck we followed. A gas burner. Looks like there's even some gas left over. An issue of the Völkisches Tageblatt, a Nazi newspaper. There's a picture of a company of soldiers on the front page. Cookware. consisting of a pot and a lid. These notes belong to my uncle. He recorded everything that happened during his expedition with Professor Hayes in 1922. Some of the text is written in a secret code that only my uncle and I can read. It seems he wanted to prevent anyone else from reading certain information, such as the section where he describes how he and Hayes found a dead monk who had a gemstone shape like a... The map contained unusual characters in an ancient script, and you might want to back up a bit. Doc! Watch out! Fancy some light reading, Paddock?
I'll grab a few smaller chunks of ice, just in case I come across any fine bourbons on my travels. I'm feeling lucky. Let's see where this leads. This place looks familiar. Of course, as an expert scout, orientation is one of many survival skills I possess, which means I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going round in circles. I felt a draft at one stage, so there's got to be another route out. There's a time for blind confidence, and that time is when talking to beautiful women, not when hopelessly lost in an icy cave of doom. There's a draft coming from somewhere. That must be the best route out. I just can't tell from where. Not a chance. I can't even see the bottom. It's too high and icy. I need another way out. My word, a grappling hook. I am so resourceful. I'll put some lumps of ice in the pot. Great idea. Well, it would be if the burner were switched on. That said, I'm not flame retardant. I'd need something to hold the pot over the flame. Preferably something other than my fingers. Okay, let's stick the lid onto the pot. That's enough ice for now. Great idea. Well, it would be if that said. A gas burner. Looks like it might even be full.
I wonder if I can work out what made these holes. Now I know. Those are smoldering cigar butts melting into the snow. The guards' barracks. I should stay close by, in case Fenton needs something. And I'm sure he will. It's not doing much good here, so I'll just take it with me. It's too big. It'll only get stuck. Watch it, Fenton! If this hits you in the face, you won't get any uglier, but you can still lose a few brain cells.
This log has a large knot in it.
The next cigar butt is mine. Watch your head down there! It's too big.
I'll light the burner. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame. It's certainly not my favorite flavor, but it's burning. Okay, so if I just stand here and watch which way the smoke goes... Bingo! It's drifting down the left-hand passage. Ugh, this place smells like Gus's house. I must be right under the camp. The Germans tossed their rubbish into this cave. Building rubble, wood scraps, and other rubbish. Nothing useful. Aside from that, most of it's frozen. Hey, a pocket knife. Of course. All the blades are broken off. Why on earth wouldn't they be? I should have known. Oh well, the corkscrew's still in one piece. Someone had their priorities right. Let's see what I can carve out. Not much, as it turns out. But I've used the corkscrew to pull out the knot. I better keep this for a while. I might need it later on. I can see the light. Ha! Always wanted to say that. There's a thin layer of ice covering most of the crevasse, but I can still feel the draft. I can't throw the hook through that layer of ice. Might work. I'll make a nice little fire down here, and the layer of ice up there will melt away. Fingers crossed. Then all I need to do is work out how the hell to get up there, although that may be academic, since most of this rubbish appears to be frozen solid. Okay, I've stuck the wood chip into the hole in the lid. I better keep this for a while. A large, heavy log. I better keep this... I could pull the wood out again using the corkscrew, but that rather raises the question of why I bothered in the first place. Might work. Then all I need... Although... I value my hands, and I think that'll do. It's unlikely enough they've helped me twice already. I think I'll quit while I'm ahead. I can't stand that smell any longer. I can't reach it.
Fenton needs my help. I'm tempted. The window's ajar. The guards' barracks. The sign warns of crevasses. It's too big. It'll only get stuck. I should stay close by. I better make sure I don't join him.
The pot is completely sealed. An issue of the Völkisches Tageblatt, a Nazi newspaper. The front page is plastered with a photo of German soldiers marching. They'd certainly burn well, but I don't fancy lighting them in my bare hands. I'll put a few pages up here between the scraps of wood. Might work. I'll make a nice little fire down here. Then all I need... Although... The newspapers are burning. Let's hope the rest of it catches. Still, it should manage to melt the ice, provided I've got a few years to kill. Oh wait, I'm on a top priority secret mission. I need a new plan. It's more likely to kill the fire than feed it. Let's see what happens next. The practical side of physics isn't bad. The wooden bullet thing went straight through the ceiling of ice. Aim well. That must be the tent we saw from above. I hope our guy's okay.
Let's see if I can use any of this. Well, on the plus side, there's a grenade here. On the downside, it's most likely a dud. Locked. Judging by the engine noise and the smell, there are diesel generators in this shed. Locked. Might come in handy sometime, but I have to take care of other things first. Looks like he's repairing the truck. I shouldn't go any further. The guy over there might see me, and then fun time's over.
Corkscrews are for unscrewing corks, not dismantling military equipment.
The generator motor sucks in air through this opening. I can't open the vent. I can't open the vent. I can't open the vent. The generator motor sucks in. Locked. Judging by the engine noise and the... I can't go any further. There's a guard up in that hut. Granted, he appears to be sleeping, but I'd rather not take the risk. I shouldn't go any further. Portable welding machine. I can't open the vent. I can't open. No, no, and no again. Building rubble. Nope, nothing useful there. Point blank refuse. Nope, point Building rubble, wood scraps, and other... It's more likely to kill the fire than... I better keep this for a while. I've already chucked everything burnable into the fire. The rest of the rubbish pile is frozen solid, and more paper isn't going to change that. I better keep this for... No, not Josephine. I was only kidding, babe. It's pretty strong. I should be able to climb out. I managed to climb up to the top through this crevasse. Leftover ammunition inside. There's one just like that standing in front of the gate. Toolbox. The British officer is being held in this tent.